So, hi everyone. I could see some similar faces. Hi Janil. Hi Neil. Okay. Hi Shanaya, Sindhuja. Welcome all. Okay, that's wonderful. So let's start then. Okay, so I hope all of you can hear me pretty well. Is my voice crisp and clear? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Is my screen visible to everyone? Okay, that's great. So quickly, so till the time everyone joins this class, let's have a quick video. So I'm having a different video today altogether. So let's hear it out. And here we go.
Hello and welcome to 98th Percentile. We're an online education company that offers live math and English courses for K through 12 students to get them a grade ahead in 6 months or less. We also focus on building young entrepreneurs through our live coding and public speaking programs. Our Rockstar teachers focus on small classroom sizes with only up to 4 students per classroom. This means that your students receive the benefit of fun and engagement with their peers while also receiving the benefit of personalized attention from their educators. We do all of this at an unbeatable price that delivers 4 times the value of any other similar program out there today. At 98th Percentile, we've already helped accelerate over 1,000 students' academic career and have received prestigious awards from all across the world.
Okay, then I hope you liked the video. Yes? Okay, now quickly, I want all of you to call up your parents. Yes, I would like all of the parents to join it. Yes, quickly, children. Yeah, I'm waiting for the parents to join. I would be waiting for another 30 seconds. Okay. I can see some parents are joining. Oh, yes. Okay, so let's start. So now I can see the parents have joined. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much parents for registering your kids with us. So once again, 98th Percentile presents Revision Marathon, and I welcome you all. Now, a small disclaimer that this session will be recorded for quality and marketing purposes. So children and parents, so you all have to keep your smiling faces on because I don't want sad and gloomy faces because you all are being captured and we would be using some video clips in our social media for our social media purpose. So show me your smiling faces, everyone. Okay, parents as well. Okay, thank you so much. Let's move on. Now, parents, we have, as promised, we have been covering 5 domains in the 5 weeks. Now, we have covered 2 of the domains, as you can see here, operations and algebraic thinking, and numbers and operations in base 10. And today we would be covering fractions. And in the next 2 weeks, we would be covering measurement and data and geometry. Now, you might be wondering, your kids might be practicing with those practice worksheets that they are getting after the session. But then there might be some questions which are left and they want their doubts to be get cleared. Now, you don't need to worry about that because here we have one of our MS form, which would be shared in the chat and we will resolve them in the next session. Now, what will happen in this? Let me just share it and show you how it will work. So you would be getting this form, right? And your children can fill in actually their questions. Like you have to fill in your parent email ID, your student name, your grade of the children, and then enter as many questions as you want. And these questions would be addressed in the next question for sure, in the next session. And yes, so please kindly rate your experience for Math Revision Marathon and how likely would you recommend this to a friend or a colleague. So this is how the form will look like. So kindly use that form and accordingly, we would be taking the doubts in the next session. Moving on. So are you all enjoying our sessions? I want some smiling faces, some hearts. Okay, I want some smiling faces or some hearts popping out if you are all enjoying the session. Okay, thank you, Truthi. I could see. Yes, I could see that. Thank you so much. So parents, it would take just 2 minutes of your time to spread the word by sharing your valuable feedback. And you have just reference links are shared in the chat. So kindly please do that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, parents. This is all I needed for your time. And children, are you all ready now for the Kahoot session? Okay, that's great. Let's move on. Now let's the show begin. Get your handsets ready and type in kahoot.it. Wonderful. I could see Janil. Yes. Okay. So I'm waiting for everyone to get ready with the second handset with kahoot.it. And here I would be sharing the game pen, which would be visible on my Zoom screen. And here we go. Okay, so let's rock and roll and get ready to join the battlefield. Okay, so here is the game pen, 5798222. Yes. Okay, I could see children are joining. That's great. Okay, that's wonderful. I would wait for another 1 minute so that everyone joins it, and then we would be starting soon. Okay, so before starting this, as I always do that, so I'm just sharing the skills that we would be learning today in class, right? And those skills are over here. I hope you can all see the screen. Yes. So these are the skills we would be learning today. These are fractions. We would be covering fractions domain today. And these are the skills. You can, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. Okay, so let's move on to our Kahoot session once again. And here we go. So are you all ready? Yes, so shall we start? Okay, now let's start with it. Okay, just give me a moment. And here we go. Grade 4, domain 3, get ready for the question, students. Okay, that's a multi-select question. Select all of the fractions equivalent to 2/3. Check all that are true. And here we go. Now the question was that you have to select all the fractions that are equivalent to 2/3. I hope you can all see I'm writing on the board. Can you all see my writing? Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Now let's move on. Now, how do we find the equivalent fractions? What are equivalent fractions? Okay, I could see that someone is raising the hand over here. Okay. Yes, please, Neil.
An equivalent fraction is a fraction that's equal to another fraction.
Yes, that's equivalent to another fraction. Thank you so much for that. That means we have the amount remains the same, but we need to count 2 more, right? That means if this is 2/3, what would be the equivalent fraction of this? As you can see in the image, that this can be equal to, let's see, it's the same portion, but more to count. As you can all see the screen, right? This 6/9 was the answer. Why is 6/9 equal to 2/3? Because if I multiply 2/3, the upper number is my numerator and the lower number is my denominator. If I multiply this by 3, I have to multiply the same number by the numerator. That becomes 6/9, right? And the same goes for 4/6. Now, how 2/3 is equal to 4/6? Yeah, that's equivalent because if I multiply 3 by 2, I would be getting a 6. So that I have to multiply the numerator also by 2, and that is equal to 4/6. So remember, children, we have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number to get the equivalent fractions. Am I clear on this? Wonderful. Let's move on to the next question. And let's see who's leading the scoreboard. Okay, Anksha is leading the scoreboard. Good job. Go on. Let's move on to the next question. Fill in the missing numbers to make these fractions equal. See it very carefully, children. And the time is up. Let's see how this question is solved. You are supposed to find the missing numbers to make this fraction equivalent. Now let's see what was the question over here. Okay, and here we go. So to find the equivalent fractions, we are supposed to check that how we have reached from 6 to 3. Now the numbers are reducing. That means we are dividing something over here. So by which number should I divide 6 to get a 3? I should have divided by 2, isn't it? Yes. So 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. Now that means I have to divide the denominator also by 2 to get the denominator of this particular fraction. And 24 divided by 2 is 12. That means 3/12 is equivalent to 6/24. Right? This is how we reduce the numerators and the denominators to get the fraction. Now, what about the next one? Now here, I have given with the denominator, that means with the use of this, I can find the numerator. Now, how I have reached from 24 to 4? That's definitely the division, not multiplication, right? Because the numbers are reducing. So by which number I should have divided 24 to get a 4? Might be by 6. Because 6 times 4 is 24. That means I have to divide the numerator also by the same number. And that is equivalent to 1. So the next number is 1. And going to the third fraction now, kids. Here, we have got the numerator. That means by which number I would have divided 6 to get a 2. That means if I divide 6 by 3, because we know that 2 times 3 is 6. Now 6 divided by 3 would give us 2. That means 24 divided by 3 would give us 8 as our answer, right? This is how we find the equivalent fractions, by dividing and multiplying the numerators and denominators. I hope that is clear to everyone. Yes? Okay, so let's move on to the next question. And let's see who's leading the scoreboard. Okay, I could see some quick change. Rohan is now leading the scoreboard. Congratulations, Rohan. Let's move on to the next skill set. Let's see what is the next question. Using common denominators, select equivalent fractions for 2/5 and 3/10. And here we go. Okay, wonderful. I got 29 correct answer, but still there are some wrong. Let's see how this question is solved. When it says using the common denominator, select equivalent fractions. The common denominator means I can see that this is 5 and 10. Now there are two ways to make the denominators common, by taking out their least common multiple, right? So what's the least common multiple of 5 and 10? How do I find that? First, I would be writing the multiples of 5. That is 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. And then I would be writing the multiples of 10. That is 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. Now I could see that 10 is the least common multiple of 5 and 10. Now I would be making both of the denominators 10. That means this 5 can be changed to 10 by multiplying it by 2, isn't it? That means 5 times 2 becomes a 10. And then if we are multiplying the denominator by 2, what will happen to the numerator? That will also be multiplied by 2, and that would become 4 tenths. And this remains the same because this is already 10. We need not make any changes over there. That means the answer is 4 tenths and 3 tenths. Now we are having the common denominators. Now this is one of the way to make the common denominators, children. We are having one more way how to make the denominators common. Now suppose the fraction is 3/5 and let's say 2/3. Okay, now this is a fraction now, okay? Now how do I make the denominators common and compare these fractions? I know some of you might knowing this. Now the second method is, the first is to find the least common multiple, and the second method is to cross multiply the denominators. That means here I would be multiplying 5 by 3 and 3 by 5. So same would be happening to the numerator, this by 3, this by 5. Now the fraction of this becomes 9/15 and this becomes 10/15. Now we can easily compare the fractions, right? Because the denominators are same. Okay, that's great. Let's move on. Let's see who's leading the scoreboard. I could see some names coming up. Ansh, Sanjeet. Okay, good work. And Rohan is still leading the scoreboard. Well done. Move on to the next question. Looking at the models given below, Lauren decided 2/5 is greater than 2/10. Is Lauren correct? Yes or no? Find the answer. Okay, so I got all the answers and still some answers are wrong. Let's see what happened in this question. Now the question says, look at the models given below. Lauren decided 2/5 is greater than 2/10. As we can already see from this fraction, is this greater than that? Let's see using some models. This can be clearly visible from some pictures over here. Now, in this picture, we could see that this fraction is 2/5, but this is 2/10. Are these equivalent? No. Is this 2/5 greater than this? Yes, that's pretty visible from the models over here that 2/5 is having the more number of shaded area, right? Now, what are the options? The option said, yes, the 5 equal pieces are greater than 10 equal pieces. No, that's not true. No, the two fractions model are not the same size. Okay, and the third one says, yes, the area for 2/5 is greater than the area for 2/10. Yes, kids, because as I told you previously, when we have to compare two fractions, make the denominators common. 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 2 is 4. Now this becomes 4/10 and this is 2/10, right? That means this is greater than 2/10. Now this is how we compare the fractions even using the models. I hope this is clear to everyone. Just a quick thumbs up from everyone. Okay, so before moving further, let's see, I'm having a riddle for all of you. Okay, now the riddle says, what is an astronaut's favorite key on a keyboard? What is an astronaut's favorite key on a keyboard? I could see some typing their answers. Okay, so Dhruti wants to answer this question, Dhruti. Okay. I've asked. Yes, please. You can say your answer. I cannot hear you, dear. Yeah, you have unmuted yourself, but I cannot hear you. Okay, that's okay. We can try it another time. Yes, I could see some more hands coming up. Okay, so I know many of you knows the answer. So let's go on. The answer is, as you all have already mentioned, it's the space bar, right? Because the astronauts like to move in the space a lot. So yes, their favorite key is space bar. Let's move on to the next question, children. Now let's see who's leading the scoreboard. Okay, Arjun has come up. Rohan is still the one. Good job, Rohan. Let's move on to the next skill set. Use the number line to fill in the missing numbers from the equation below. Now that's the addition of the fractions. Go on. Okay, we got the answers. Now still one is wrong. I'm wondering who answered this wrong. So I got 40 correct answers in this. Let's see how. So here we are adding the fractions with same denominators. 2/6 plus what? 6 would give you 5/6. Now how do we solve this using the number line? Let's see how. Now we are at 2/6. Let's start from 2/6. Now, suppose I'm standing over here. Now, I will jump directly to 5/6 because that's my answer. Now, how many units I have moved? 1, 2, 3. Yes, Neil, I could see a 3. That means that's 3/6. So that means the answer is 3/6. So we have jumped 3 steps. So, and that gives you a 3/6 as your answer. I hope that is clear to the one who has not answered this question correctly. Let's move on to the next question. And I could see some good changes over here. And someone has got a streak over here. So Diksha has the highest answer streak of 5. Good work, so Diksha. Let's move on to the next question. And here comes the next skill set. Use the number line to fill in the number missing from the equation below. That's a subtraction. Go on. Okay, I got 41 correct answers this time. Let's see now what is happening in this question. The question says we have to subtract. So we are at, now here we are at 4/5 and we are going to 1/5. That means we are going in the opposite direction. So to move from 4/5 to 1/5, how many steps I am moving back? 1, 2, 3. So that means 3/5. So I'm moving 3 steps behind. So 4/5 minus 3/5 would give you the correct answer, kids. And that is the answer. I hope you all got it. Yes, show me some excitement. Okay, I could see some thumbs up. Thank you so much. And today I would be sharing with you some very, nice and tricky math facts. And wait for that. Let's move on. Okay, I could see some more faces. Arjun is coming up. Good job. Arjun has the highest answer streak of 6. Congratulations, Arjun. Good job, Rohan. You are still leading the scoreboard. Let's move on to the next question. And here comes the next skill set, multi-select question. Which of the following expressions show the decomposition of 10/8? Check all that are true. Okay, and the time is up. I could see some wrong answers too and the correct answers too. Let's see how this question is done. Now, first of all, what do we mean by decomposition? Decomposition means decomposing this. That means breaking this fraction, right? Now, how do I break this fraction to get 10/8 only? I can write 10/8 like 5/8 plus 5/8, right? I can do that because 5 plus 5 gives me 10 and the denominator remains the same, right? Or I can take it as 8/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8. That would give me, adding the numerators, 8 plus 1 is 10. That is again 10/8. Now this is how we break up the fractions, children. Now you could see the options were like given as 6/8 plus 3/8. Now, if we add the numerators in this, 6 plus 3 won't give us 10, that would give us 9. And that's not the correct answer. Yes, I could see some good smiling faces. That means you all have understood it pretty well. Okay, now can you tell me any other way of breaking this fraction? Type in your answers. What other way I can break up this number 10/8? Is anyone interested to say this answer? Okay, I could see some hands are raising. Okay, so, okay, Neil. Janil, let's go to you this time. Yes, you can speak now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear pretty well.
You can do 7/8 plus 3/8.
Wonderful, 7/8 plus 3/8. So we have different ways of breaking this number, right? That's correct, Janil. Good job. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. And let's see the scoreboard this time. Oh, wow, wonderful. Janil, you are on the scoreboard now. Great going. So let's move on to the next question. And here we enter the next skill set. We use the image to determine which sum is equivalent to 1/3/5. Now you have to see this, observe it very carefully, children. And we all have answered this question. I could see I got 29 correct answers. Okay, that means let's see what happened in this question. Now here the number was given as 1/3/5. Now first understand what number is this. This is a different number we could see over here. Now this number where we could see a whole number and a fraction. You could see a whole number over here. Yes. And there is a fraction also. Now, these kind of numbers are called as mixed numbers. Yes, I hope you all must be knowing this. These are called as mixed numbers where we are having a whole number and one fraction. Now, let's see what is asked in this question. Okay, we can also see that, that depends on the question in what way they're asking it. Now, here I could see that they have marked these number of, these blocks. Now, how do I write this block in fraction? This can be written as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many total parts are there? 8 parts. That means I can write this as 2/8, but the thing is there they have mentioned that this is one whole. That means in one whole we are having total parts of 5. This is why they have mentioned this as one whole. Now out of one whole, we need to answer this. Now this is 2/5. This fraction, this shaded region is 2/5. Going to this one, this is again 2/5. Going to this one. Now see, There are 2 2/5. Now what happened to this one? This is 3/5 and this is 1/5. Now let's see if I add up all these together. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. Now I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fractions over here. When I add up all the numerators together, I would be getting 8/5 as my answer, isn't it? Now, who will tell me that if this is 8/5, we could see that numerator is greater than the denominator. Now, what are these numbers, these fractions called as? Where the numerator is greater than the denominator. I want some other students to answer this question. Okay, Jimin. Yes, Jimin, you can answer this question now.
Yes. It is improper fraction.
Exactly. These fractions are called as improper fraction where the numerator is greater than the denominator. That's great. Now, this is how we have found this answer. Yes, 2/5 plus 2/5 plus 3/5 plus 1/5. Now, how do I convert this 8/5 to the mixed number? I could see that how many times this 5 is going in 8. Now, there is one different method of do this. That means this means 8 is being divided by 5, right? Now let's put 8 inside the division house and 5 outside the division house. Now 5 times 1 is 5, right? Because 5 can go only 1 times in 8. And we have the remainder. The quotient becomes our whole number. The remainder becomes our numerator and the divisor becomes our denominator because that doesn't changes. This is how we convert an improper fraction to a mixed number, just for your information. Now, let me ask you one question. Now, how do I convert 15 over, let's say, 7 to a mixed number? Type in your answers, everyone. 15/7 as a mixed number. Quickly type in your answers. Okay. Yes, good work. Okay, yes, Neil, I know that you know the answer. Good job. Okay, so that means the answer for this, as you all have mentioned, is how many times 7 is going in 15? 2 times. That becomes my whole number? Exactly. What is my remainder? 1. And the denominator remains the same. So 2/1/7 is the correct answer for this. Good job, kids. Now let's move on to the next skill set. And let's see who's leading the scoreboard. Okay, Sanchit has again reached the third, and Rohan is still the one who's leading the scoreboard. Let's move on to the next question. And entering the next skill set, multi-select question. Select all the answer choices that show the sum of 2 8/10 plus 1 7/10. Check all that are true. And the time is up, and I could see that 28 students have answered it correctly because there were 2 options. Okay, 28 and 34. Some of them are wrong. Let's see how this question is solved. When it says that we have to add the fractions, now these are mixed numbers as we have already done. And these mixed numbers are having the common denominator. So that becomes easier to add. Now, first we would be, aligning them in proper columns. The whole number below the whole number, fractions below the fractions. Now, how do we start adding the mixed numbers? We would be first taking the fraction part. Always take the first fraction part. Now, 8/10 plus 7/10 would give us what? That would give us 15/10, isn't it? Yes. Now we could see that this 15/10 is again an improper fraction which can be converted to a mixed number. Now here I have got 2 plus 1 is 3. I am having 15/10 as my fraction. Now this 15/10 can again be converted to a mixed number. How many times 10 goes in 15? 1 times. What is the remainder? 5. Denominator remains the same, that is 10. Right? So that means one more whole number. I would be again adding up this whole number to 3. That means the final answer is 4, 5, 10. Right? So 4 wholes and 5/10 as a fraction. So this question, this option was right. Now, what about the next option? How do I convert this mixed number to an improper fraction? Now, again, there is a formula to do that. Just go clockwise from your denominator to the whole number, multiply the denominator by the whole number, and then add the numerator to it to get your complete numerator for that improper fraction. Denominator always remains the same. He is in always the power. 10 times 4 is 40, and 40 plus 5 would give us 45. That means 45 over 10 is also the correct answer. So children, this is how we convert an improper fraction to a mixed number or mixed number to an improper fraction. I hope that is clear to you all, right? Okay, let me ask you one quick question now. Now, how will you convert this given fraction into an improper fraction? Quickly tell me the answer. Type in your answers. 5/3/10. Okay, I could see the answers are coming. And yes, 5/3/10, again going in the clockwise direction. 10 times 5 is 50. Adding 3 to it, multiplying and then adding, it would give me 53 over 10 as my answer, right? Good job. So let's move on to the next question and the next skill set, and let's see who's leading the scoreboard. Okay, so Diksha has reached the second place. Good job, so Diksha. Let's move on to the next question, children. And here we go. Which of the following is the difference? Now here you have to find the difference between these two mixed numbers. Time is up and we got 34 correct answers. Let's see how this is done. Now this is the same as addition, but here we are subtracting, entering them in proper columns. 3, 4, 8. Now first taking up the fractions and subtracting them. Now we can subtract 6/8 minus 4/8. That is subtracting the numerators. That was give us 2/8 as my fraction. Now 8 minus 3 would give me 5. Now that means 5/8 is my answer. Now can I reduce this mixed number? Yes, definitely, because this 2/8 can be also written as 1/4, isn't it? I can write this mixed number as 5/1/4, because it might happen that you can get these options in your exam, 5/1/4. That is also the correct option. It's just that they have reduced the fraction to 5/1/4. Right? Now let's move on to the next question. Now, before moving to the next question, I want to ask one more question. What will happen if here the question was 8, let's say 3/8, and here it was 3/4/8. Now, what you're supposed to do over here? I cannot subtract 4 from 3. I cannot. So what do? I have to borrow one complete whole from this. Now, if this is 3/8, I would be borrowing one whole from 8. This 8 would become a 7, adding 8/8 to it. Now you must be wondering why I'm taking 8/8, because this fraction is having total equal parts as 8. That's why I'm taking 8/8, and that's one whole. And that would be equal to 11/8. Now I can easily subtract 11/8 minus 4/8, right? And that would give me 7/8 as my answer. and the whole number would be 7 minus 3, that is 4. Now the answer would be 478 in this situation, where we have to carry over the whole from the whole number of that particular mixed number. So this is how we do these questions. You might get these questions in your exam. So please be careful that we have to carry over or not. Let's move on to the next question. So Diksha is now leading the scoreboard. Congratulations to Diksha. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The length of wolf spider is 116 centimeter longer than the huntsman spider. Find the length of the wolf spider, and here we go. You've got the table. You can read the data and find your answer. And here we go. Let's see how this question is solved. Now here you were given with the data, right? They says that wolf spider is 116 centimeter greater than the huntsman spider. That means if the huntsman spider is this, we just need to add 116 centimeter to it, right? Because wolf is 116 greater than. Now the key word over here, children, is greater than. Now greater than, as I've shared previously in my previous sessions, this means to add, right? So we are adding 116 to 216 to get the length of the wolf spider. And like same way, adding the fractions would give me 16 plus 16 a 26, and 2 plus 1 is 3. That means the answer is 326 centimeters. Now, again, the options might be different in your exam. They might ask, give the option as 3 1/3. That's also the correct option, children, because I have just reduced 26 to 1/3, right? By dividing the numerators and the denominator by 2. So this is how we go with these questions. I hope that is clear to everyone. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, and keep smiling and keep going. Let's go on. Now let's see who's leading the scoreboard. So Diksha is the one still leading the scoreboard. Sanjit has reached second place. Okay, Komsa, Maiva, and Raghav. Let's move on to the next question. Multi-select question, children. Which of the following are equal to 20 times 1/6? Check all that are true. Now here we are multiplying the whole number by the fraction. And the time is up. I still didn't get all the answers. Okay, let's see how this question is solved. Can you all see me writing? Just a quick check. Okay, thank you. Now, which of the following are equal to 20 times 1/6? Now, children, this is the skill set that says how to multiply the whole number with the fraction. Now, this is very useful in a real life also. I would be asking some few questions after this. Now, 20 times 1/6. That means, can I write this whole number as a fraction as 20/1? right? Now multiplying the numerators, that would give me 20, and multiplying the denominators, that would give me 6. Now 26 can be the option, and that is the option, and that is correct. Now can I divide this, both the numbers, by 2 to get 10 over 3, right? So I've reduced this fraction to 10/3. This is also the correct answer. That's there in the option. Now, remember decomposition the whole numbers and the fractions. This 20 can be written as 2 times 10 times 1, 6. Now, if I combine these two fractions, this would become 10/6, and I'm having the whole number as 2 over here. Now, again, this is there in my option, 2 times 10/6. Now, this is how you need to find these answers. I hope that is clear to you. Now, what is the use of multiplying the whole number by a fraction in real life? Now, if anyone can answer this question, what is 3/4 of a day in hours? What is 3/4 of a day in hours? Kindly type in your answers. 3/4 of a day in hours. You have to answer me in hours. Okay, I could see you are solving the question. Wonderful. 3/4 of a day in hours. So how this question is solved? How many hours are there in a day? We all know that there are 24 hours, right? Now, what is 3/4 of 24? Now, children, here of means multiplication, and 3/4 of 24. Now, again, we have landed on the equation which says multiplying the whole number by the fraction. This whole number can be written as 24 over 1, right? Now, what do I do next? Multiplying the numerators, that is 24 times 3. And 24 times 3 would give me 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1, 7. That gives me 72 over 4. Now I have to divide 72 by 4 to get my answer. Now what can be the answer, children? 4 times 1 is 4, subtracting 3 and 2. Now 4 times 8 is 32, right? So that means 3/4 of a day in hours is 18 hours. So this is how this multiplying fraction by a whole number is useful to us in our daily routine, right? Let's move on to the next question, children. Let's see who's leading the scoreboard. Raghav has again scored his leading ship. Okay, leading role. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, children. Now, Nolan has 2 bottles of water. There is 9/12 liters of water in each bottle. How many liters of water does he have in all? Remember the keywords over here in this word problem. Still not getting the full answers. Still 2, 3 children are left to answer. Okay. And here we go. I got 33 correct answers, but still there are some wrong. Now let's see. Again, there are 2 bottles of water. So that means 2 in total. And there is 9/12 of liters of water in each of them. That means if I have to count it in total, I have to multiply 9/12 by 2, isn't it? Or I can just add 9/12 2 times. That would give me the same answer. Now, 2 times 9 would equal to 18 over 12. Now, children, again, this is an improper fraction. Converting this to a mixed number means how many times the 12 is going in 18? 1 times. And what is my remainder? 6 over 12 is my correct answer. Again, you could be getting the option as 1, 1, half, because 6/12 can be written as 1/2. So these can be the options which you might get. So just make sure you read the options very carefully. Moving on to the next question. Let's see who's leading the scoreboard. Okay. So Raghav and Rohan and Sanjit. And Jemin is the one who has joined the line. Okay, let's move on to the next question. 2/10 plus 400 is equal to what? And here we go. Wonderful. Now in this question, again, we have to change the tenths to hundreds, right? How do I change the tenths to hundreds? By just multiplying this 10 by 10 and then multiplying the numerator by 10. This would become 20 hundredths plus 4 hundredths. Now children, adding the numerators, that is 24 hundredths. Now can you all tell me if I'm writing 6/10? Now this 6/10 is equal to what part of hundreds? That means if this is 6/10, yes, I could see someone is want to answer. Yes, please. Okay, so have I just, yes. Yes, please, now you can answer it.
It equals 60 hundredths.
Right, the tenths can be converted to hundreds. Exactly. Thank you so much, Neil. Okay, and here we move on. So I suppose this is clear to everyone. Good job. Let's see who's leading the scoreboard over here. Okay, so Raghav is the one again. And we have someone who has reached some streak in a 3-row. Okay. Let's move on to the next question, kids. So Param is making a comeback with 3 in a row. Good job, children. Keep doing like this. Moving on to the next question, convert the following fractions into a decimal number. Now you have to convert 100 and 10 to a decimal number. Okay, now this question was to convert the fraction to a decimal number. How do I write 900 as a decimal number? I could see that now how to write this in decimal, just writing the numerator and adding the decimal just 2 places towards the left. 1, 2. That means decimals comes over here and this is 0.9. That means this 9 is falling in the 100th place of a decimal number. This can be written as 0.09. Now, if you could see after the decimal number, there are 2 digits. That is same as the number of zeros in the denominator. So this is the short way of just writing it just without seeing anything. If this is 8/10, how many zeros are there in the denominator? 1 0. That means after the decimal, I would be putting only 8. But if this was 8/1000, now what will happen? That means there are 3 zeros. I need to put 3 digits after a decimal. And now this 8 is falling in the thousands place. So I have to place 8 over here and then 0 and then a 0, because after the decimal, the place value starts with tenths and then it goes to hundredths and then it go to thousands, children, right? This is how we go. This tenth means this is a part of a tenth, this is 100, and this is 1000. So this is how we convert the decimal number or to the fractions or the fractions to a decimal number. Now let's see the next question. Okay, who's leading the scoreboard? Sanjit has now topped it. Wonderful. Good job, children. Keep on doing like this. Moving to the next question. A student uses a ruler to find that a plant is 3/10 of a foot tall. Select the decimal that represents the same height. Anyone has not answered? Okay, here we go. I got 38 correct answers. So as I said, 3/10. Writing a number in the numerator and just adding the decimal just one place towards the left because there is only 1 0. So it becomes 0.3 feet as your answer. This is how we do these questions. Okay, can you all tell me how do I write 24 hundredths as a decimal number? Just kindly type in your answers. Okay, I suppose Rudar wants to say the answer. Yes, Rudar, you can say the answer.
0.24.
Yeah, it's 0.24. Now, we never read a decimal number like this. We always say that 0 and, or you can say this as 24 hundredths, or you can say this as 0.24 because that's a decimal part, not a whole number. Thank you so much, Rudar. Okay. Good job. Moving on to the next question. And let's see who's leading the scoreboard. Okay, Sanjit is the one who is leading it again. Let's move on to the next question, children. Select the correct decimal for each point on the number line. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, now can you all hear me? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, now moving on. Now this can be written as 0.1, right? Now again, moving on to this. Now this decimal comes between 2 tenths and 3 tenths. Now this is again a 10th part of that, children. That means this can be written as 21, 22. This is again, can we convert this to 20 hundredths? Yes, because each part is having 10 bars in between. So I can just write this as 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 30 hundredths, 40 hundredths, and so on. So this would be lying somewhere between 20 hundredths and 30 hundredths, and that would give me 21 and 22. This would be 22 hundredths, which can be written as a decimal as 0.22 or 22 hundredths. Now moving on to this can be written as 0.5 or 0.50. Both can be the options, but here we have only 0.5 in the correct option. Now moving on to this, and this is again 70 hundredths and 80 hundredths, right? Now this is falling somewhere in the mid of that. That means this is 75 hundredths, which can be written as 0.75. Am I clear on this to everyone? Okay, that's great. Now let me ask you one question. Kindly tell me which point is this? The point, this one. Kindly type in your answers. Okay, I could see some new names coming up. Ayush, want to say the answer? Ayush, though I cannot see you. Okay, now I can see you there. So I've asked you to unmute. Now you can speak. What's the answer for this, Ayush?
The answer is 0.55.
Okay, 0.55. Yes, that's the correct answer. Thank you so much. Now moving on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's not 0.55. That's actually 0.56, right? Because if you see more closely, that was 0.56. Okay, that means you understood how this question is done. Let's move on to the next question, children. Okay. And here we go to the multi-select question. Select the two comparisons that are not true. Comparing the decimal numbers. Okay, so wonderful. Now we got some correct answers, some wrong answers too. Now, how do we compare the decimal number? If the question is 0.04 less than 0.40. Now, when we start comparing the decimal numbers, children, always start with the place values. Now, see the tens. Here, the tens over here is 4, right? And this is greater than 0.04, isn't it? But which is not true. So this is true. The next question is 0.7 is equal to 0.07. Is this equal? No, because here we are having 7 tenths and here this is 0 ones. This is not equal. That means this is the correct answer because you have to answer which is not true. So to compare the decimals, we compare the place values, right? Starting from tenths. Tenths is 1. Here the tenths is 9. Definitely this one is greater. This is not the greater one. So that means this is also not true. So children, this is how we compare the decimal numbers. Now, before going on, let's see who is leading the scoreboard now. Okay, so we have reached the end part of it. So Diksha is the one. Okay. Wonderful. Now let's move on and get back to it. Congratulations, students. You did pretty well. And just let me go there. And moving on to the back. Good job, children. We finally finished it. And so here I'm sharing it once again. So once again, I would like you all to call up your parents once quickly. Because once again, I'm having one beautiful video for them. Okay, can you all quickly call your parents? Yes, I would be waiting for another 30 seconds. Quickly call up your parents, children. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Yes? Okay, so thank you so much, parents. So finally, today we have completed the third domain, that is numbers and operations in fractions. Now what next? As you all know that you would be getting some of the practice questions. I hope you all are doing your practice questions. Yes? Is that a yes? Okay, that's good if you're practicing it. Now, homework. You please complete that and you would be receiving that via email. Now, next mission details. Next domain would be measurement and data, and the date is 2nd May, and the time would remain the same, parents. Okay, now new program alert. As we have a new program coming on, as we've already taken 3 programs, but we have 1 new program coming over. And after successfully accelerating the academic careers of more than 1,000 students via math, ELA, and coding programs, parents, we are here launching the new program which will eliminate your fear of speaking. Now, the one who are fear of speaking in public, that's for them, public speaking. Now, parents, there is a quick short video I would like to just share with you all. And let me just show that. Just give me a moment. Okay. And here we go. Can you all see my screen, parents? Okay, just give me a moment. And here we go. Shortly, you would be seeing the video over here. And here we go. I hope you can all see the screen over here and you can listen to the video, right? Thank you so much. And here we go. Okay, so are you all excited for this? Yes? Okay. So thank you so much, parents. Now it's a time for a group photo. I would request all of you to please switch on your cameras if you have not switched on, and kindly get ready for the group photo over here. Okay, and here we go. Wonderful. So you all looking great. Keep smiling. And you can make some poses if you want, this face or a dab or anything you would like to want. That looks cool. That's great. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I could still see some of them have not opened their videos. That's okay if they don't want to. Okay, thank you so much, children, and thank you so much, parents. Now, let's wait for the next week and let's come together in the next week for the fourth domain. Hoping to see you all. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye and take care. Bye.